Intelligent discourse, irreverent fun. At least that's what we strive for here on the Dan O'Donnell Show. Welcome back to it. New York Times article appears to implicate Wisconsin Supreme Court candidate Susan Crawford and the state Democratic Party in a plot to get Crawford elected to the court just so that they can redistrict and thus gerrymander, I'm just going to assume, Brian Stile and Derek Van Orden right out of their congressional seats. The subject line of an email invitation sent to a briefing last week for Democrat donors with Judge Crawford and Ben Wickler, the Wisconsin Democratic chairman, reads, chance to put 2 more House seats in play for 2026. Now, they'd be able to explain this away if it were just, a high dollar thing. And okay, we're going to get momentum back. We're going to win this statewide race, and we're going to take that momentum right into 2026. If on the guest list there was not former Attorney General Eric Holder, who just happens to be the chairman of the National Democratic Redistricting Committee. And he also plans to travel to Wisconsin to campaign for Judge Crawford. Now, these are supposed to be nonpartisan elections. That's why we have them in spring. The April elections are nonpartisan. November elections in this state are partisan. So even though everybody knows Brad Schimmel is a Republican, he was a Republican attorney general, even though everybody knows Susan Crawford is a liberal Democrat, they are nonpartisan. One of the big focuses of this article was the influx of tens of millions of dollars in donations that flowed in 2023, one of several massive mistakes by the last conservative candidate, former Justice Daniel Kelly, was not accepting an endorsement by the state Republican Party, which would have been it would have allowed him to just get a whole ton more money. Schimmel is not nearly that naive. Protasewicz just wiped the floor with Kelly in terms of the money that was coming in, almost all of it from out of state. And I would assume that the same thing is going on here with respect to Susan Crawford. Brad Schimmel, though, has much sharper elbows than does Dan Kelly and isn't going to take that lying down. Also, he just had an incredible fundraising year in 2024. He raised a ton of money on his own, and he is going to have all manner of political action committee support. You might have seen the story in the Journal Sentinel last week. Elon Musk tweeted about the state Supreme Court race. They're terrified that he's going to find a couple of dollars in between his couch cushions and come in with $100 million to support Brad Schimmel. If I have any say in that, if I have any connection in Trump world, and oh wait, yes, I kind of do, I will tell them that this, I already did, that this is what Democrats are planning to do. They are absolutely planning to get Crawford on the court. And for those who are not totally familiar with this race, Ann Walsh Bradley, who has been on the court since the 1849 law was written. If you can believe that, Ann Walsh Bradley was asked to weigh in on the 1849 law. She wrote the dissenting opinion, says producer Dave. Now, I'm kidding. She's been on the court forever, though, easily the longest tenured member of the state Supreme Court. She's retiring. She's, of course, a huge liberal. If you couldn't tell by the fact that she physically assaulted a conservative a couple of years back. Poor David Prosser, he just passed away a couple of weeks ago, I believe right before Christmas, if memory serves. Ann Walsh Bradley charged at him like a bull in the chambers. Based on all witness testimony, she went absolutely ballistic. He was defending himself. And of course, the Journal Sentinel and every other state media outlet that is not right of center dutifully reported that Prosser assaulted Ann Walsh Bradley. Knowing the two of them and their personalities, I can tell you exactly who attacked who. But she's retiring, and if Schimmel wins, conservatives would have a 4-3 majority. Of course, there is alleged conservative Brian Hagedorn still on that court. He has been as squishy comes on almost every issue of consequence since he was first elected 5 years ago. But if Crawford wins, conservatives don't get another chance to retake the majority on the court for several years. That is when you're going to see Act 10 fall. My guess is in the lame duck period after the election, but before the new justice is sworn in. The Act 10 decision is going to come down. The Roe v. Wade abortion decision is going to come down. And if Crawford wins, they are openly saying they are going to do exactly what they did in 2023 in validating the congressional maps to try to steal 2 congressional seats. More on the state Supreme Court race. I told you that the state media is already loaded for bear against Brad Schimmel. Some gotcha questions from the Associated Press, but I've got some questions for that Associated Press reporter. Stay tuned.
When winter's frosty grip squeezes out all the joy of the season, that's when to heat things up by playing the nationwide Cold Hard Cash Contest on Newstalk 1130 WISN.
Win some cash.
9 times each weekday. Listen for the keyword to enter at newstalk1130.com, and you could win the hourly prize of $1,000.
The Cold Hard Cash Contest is presented by Tap In Golf Bar, offering Metro Milwaukee's premier indoor golf simulator experience, locations in Waukesha and Sussex. TapInGolfBar.com.
Hot summer night. Lightning strike. Down goes the tree, right through their bedroom wall, nearly ruining a walnut headboard, which is pretty hard wood. Fortunately, the customers were okay. But the headboard? That wasn't. Until they called us. We made that Victorian headboard better than new. So if you're looking for the finest in furniture finishing, repair, and heirloom restoration, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. We're no job's too small. Serving everywhere. Quality counts. Well, if you haven't heard me bragging by now, we're darn good. Actually, my dad has no qualms about saying we're the best. And if you're skeptical, I understand. But all you have to do is go to MullallyFinishing.com to learn why we're great at what we do and see lots of before and after photos that show off our impressive work. So if you're looking for a name you can trust, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. Serving everywhere. Quality counts. MULLALY Finishing.com.
Next Tuesday, you'll go to your business. You'll stand there in your office and make decisions. I think when you make decisions, it might be well for you to ask yourself, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Is it easier for your business to buy things you need to increase profitability than it was 4 years ago? Does your business have more or less unemployment? Is your business as respected as it was? Do you feel your business is on as secure financial grounds as it was 4 years ago? And if you answer all those questions, yes, why then, I think your choice is very obvious as to who handles your brand and marketing. If you don't think the marketing course is what you would like to see your business follow for the next 4, then I could suggest another choice that you have.
And it is improving the economy one business at a time. CreativeGeniusMarketing.com. I'mATishWeb.com.
Dan O'Donnell here for Mander Collision and Glass, now with 7 locations to serve you in Waukesha, Milwaukee, Muskego, Brookfield, Heartland, Cedarburg, and their Waukesha Fleet and Specialty location. If you have a business with a multi-vehicle fleet, Mander is the place to go because their team understands you can't have a vehicle out of service for a while, so they work quickly and efficiently to get you back on the road and serving your customers as fast as possible through expedited fleet repairs. Mander has been serving their customers and their community for well over 20 years, and they know that the key is expert workmanship and fast turnaround times combined with the sort of customer service that you'll only find at a family-owned local business like Mander. Start your repair today at mandarcollision.com and find out for yourself why Mandar truly is your best decision after a collision.
I'm board-certified plastic surgeon Michelle Bonas. Unlike injectable fat reduction drugs, side effects of Cool Tone are stronger sculpted buttocks, ab, and thigh muscles. That's if you'd call looking good and improved long-term health side effects. Cool Sculpting patients achieve significant, visually satisfying fat reduction results at my Brookfield MediSpa. Only Bonas charges per result, not per cycle, delivering satisfying fat reduction at value pricing. Why not look the way you feel inside? Your body, your life, love it. drbonas.com.
We're the Libby family
at Do-It-Yourself Bathroom Center near State Fair on 62nd and Greenfield.
If your bathroom needs work, we're the place to go.
Our people really know their stuff, and we install.
Plus, nobody beats our prices. Remember our slogan,
I did it myself at Do-It-Yourself.
Be sure to listen to the Annex Wealth Management Investment Show Saturday mornings at 11 and Sunday afternoons at 1 on News Talk 1130 WISN. Annex provides its expertise to arm listeners with the knowledge and tools to invest wisely. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
It's Glockuary at Fletcher Arms. All new Glock firearms will be marked down Friday, January 31st through Sunday, February 2nd. Stack savings. Add a discounted upgrade package including trigger, red dot with plate, and free installation. Talk to our Glock rep and try several Glock models on the range during the Glockuary demo event at Fletcher Arms, Lake Country on February 1st. See you for Glockuary, the weekend of Glockuary 31st at Fletcher Arms, your favorite family-run shooting destination since 1978.
Hi, it's Jason from Capital Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric, and I've never told you why Capital does same-day repair 7 days a week. Years ago, in the dead of winter, the heat failed in an apartment building I was responsible for, so I called a big local heating company who promised to help, but never showed up. After a million calls, I mustered the know-how and fixed it myself. That's when I decided Milwaukee deserves a company that cares, and that's why we offer same-day repair 7 days a week. Visit callcapitalcares.com because Capital cares.
Hey, it's Alec Baldwin. This season on my podcast, Here's the Thing, I speak with musician, photographer, and philanthropist Julian Lennon.
Photography really does allow me to do that. I have empathy for people on the other side of the world that you'll never, ever meet, but you'll at least have some understanding of what their life is and what they went through or are still going through.
Listen to Here's the Thing on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Here's the Thing and start listening.
Classical conservatism, contemporary style. It is the Dan O'Donnell Show. Welcome back to it. Coming up in about 10 to 15 minutes, we name the unhinged liberal of the day. And if you've been paying attention to the news at all today, you've probably already guessed who it is. This is one of the funniest ones in recent memory, and I do believe, producer Dave, Dave and I have been working together. He's produced me for, 7, 8 years, somewhere in there. 2019. No, was it? It was only 5 years. Well, it felt like way longer. That you have heard me talk about doing an unhinged Liberal of the Year show forever. I think we're finally going to do it. And he says we'll believe it when he sees it, when he hears it, I guess. This is automatically, I think, our top contender. Every other unhinged liberal is going to be measured up against this standard. Before we can get to the end of the year, before we can even get to May, we have got another whole statewide election cycle. Buckle up, kiddos, because the left-wing media has decided we're already in it. This was the day, the big definitive New York Times article, every liberal in the country donate to Susan Crawford. And that's what this article was. As I outlined, they said the quiet part loud, that they are seeing this as an attempt to gerrymander the GOP out of 2 congressional seats by getting Crawford on the court and then just having her vote with the other 3 liberals to strike down congressional district maps, just like they did with the state legislative maps as soon as they got Janet Protasewicz on the court in April of 2023. So that's the national media. They're already drumming up support for out-of-state liberal cat ladies who want to support the I mean, can you call Susan Crawford a liberal cat lady? She does look like one, but I went to her page. She's got a beautiful family, a husband, a daughter, and a son. She looks like a nice left wing. She has the liberal cat lady look, but she doesn't have the liberal cat lady lifestyle, right? She's like a liberal cat lady poser. You know, she doesn't walk the walk. Right? She might talk the talk like being a liberal cat lady, but she doesn't walk the walk of being a liberal cat lady. Scott Bauer of the Associated Press is dutifully doing her bidding by asking Brad Schimmel tough questions about pardons while refusing to ask her a thing. He put out a tweet earlier today. The Republican-backed candidate in Wisconsin's Supreme Court race said that he didn't object to President Donald Trump using his power to pardon when asked about clemency granted to about 1,500 rioters who were convicted of crimes related to January 6th. So apparently we are now asking Supreme Court candidates in Wisconsin about federal pardons. Here's a quick question. What power does the state Supreme Court have over the presidential pardon authority? None. 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 So I asked Mr. Bauer via X, and I will ask him again via the radio. Is he going to ask Susan Crawford about any sort of pardons? Now, everybody all day has been pointing out to Bauer that President Biden pardoned his own children or child and family members, his brother, and pretty much everybody with the last name Biden this side of the Mississippi got a last-second pardon from old Joe. But I actually think I have a relevant question. Biden granted clemency to a drug dealer by the name of Adrian Peeler, who murdered a mother and her 8-year-old son in Connecticut. I asked Scott on X, and I'll ask him again here. Have you asked the Democrat-backed candidate in Wisconsin's Supreme Court race about this yet? If not, why not? This is far more pertinent a question to ask than the January 6th pardons are of Brad Schimmel, because this is Susan Crawford's TV ad.
Susan Crawford. She's the prosecutor who locked up violent criminals, the judge who's kept them off the street, and the leader who fought for abortion rights.
Okay, so as a prosecutor, she locked up criminals. As a judge, she kept them off the streets. I don't know what the abortion thing thrown in there. Are they saying she helped stop future criminals by allowing them to be killed in the womb? I don't know. It goes real quick from stopping crimes to killing babies, but I guess this is what lefties are concerned about here. She says she is the prosecutor who locked up violent criminals. She's the judge who kept them behind bars. Does she support the president pardoning a violent criminal who killed an 8-year-old boy? Technically, it wasn't a pardon. It was a grant of clemency. It was a commutation of his sentence, which means he gets out of prison. He murdered a mother and child in cold blood 25 years ago. The sentence was life. He gets out after 25 years. He's 48 years old. He gets to live the rest of his life as a free man. Does she agree with that? How about Leonard Peltier? Remember that one? Tried to kill a Milwaukee police officer who was off duty and happened to see him outside of a diner, shot and attempted to kill him. He ends up killing 2 FBI agents, but he's a left-wing activist, so of course he gets his sentence commuted by Biden. Does she support that one? She's the tough law and order candidate. Does she support that? those violent criminals. And it's the exact same aha, gotcha, perceived hypocrisy that Bauer is trying to create with his story and his questions to Brad Schimmel. That's the entire point of this story, folks. You have to understand how journalists operate. Bauer is trying to make the point that Schimmel, as the obvious law and order candidate, doesn't really care about law and order because he supports Trump pardoning 1,500 supposedly violent criminals and insurrectionists. If he's not willing to ask the exact same questions of Susan Crawford, then it is rather obvious that Scott Bauer is not an objective journalist who's interested in getting to the truth and getting an informed electorate ahead of this Supreme Court race, but rather a partisan hack who just wants to make the Republican-backed candidate look bad. So again, I ask even more publicly than before, Scott Bauer, Associated Press, have you asked Susan Crawford about President Biden's pardons of Leonard Peltier and Adrian Peeler? If not, why not? The unhinged liberal of the day coming up next here on The Dan O'Donnell Show.
Rapid traffic on News Talk 1130 WISN.
From the Lynch family of dealerships Total Traffic Center.
Southbound 4145 going to be slow between Silver Spring and Burleigh. Southbound 43 jammed from Fond du Lac down to the Marquette. And westbound 94 delays starting at 27th and clearing up west of Hawley. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest Total Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. My Lowe's Rewards Week is coming, and it's kind of a big deal. Members, get ready for up to 40% off store-wide on hundreds of items. Join for free today. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms subject to change.
Hi, I'm Mike Madsen, owner of Color Wheel Painting, and I'm often asked, what does Color Wheel do? Well, I'll tell you. Color Wheel Painting puts smiles on people's faces. Color Wheel puts you, your spouse, your kids, your pets at ease with its approachable, shockingly normal, easy to get along with staff. Color Wheel makes the time to answer your questions. Color Wheel returns calls, emails, text messages, and we do it quickly because Color Wheel knows you're busy and need answers. That's right, we're reachable, communicative, proactive, and accountable. Color Wheel is dedicated to giving you wonderful service and results. We work with you, not against you, and Color Wheel always makes things right when the occasional thing goes wrong, and that matters. We run from nothing. Color Wheel Painting. We're 20 years in, a track record to trust. We do fantastic things. Oh, and we paint. Color Wheel Painting, colorwheelpainting.com.
I'm Victor Harding, a true trial attorney at Warshevsky Law. You've heard our advertising for years. While it's been effective introducing Warshevsky to injured people in need of maximum judgments and settlements, most of our clients come from personal referral. Referrals from former clients grateful for the settlement or trial judgment Warshevsky won on their behalf. Thus, they're recommending us to friends and family. Referrals from people in the community, including other lawyers and judges who want to make sure their friends and family are taken care of. Still not sure? Ask around. Warshevsky is referred by Wisconsin law enforcement officers who've seen Warshevsky attorneys in action, desperate to make sure friends and family receive just compensation. Insurance adjusters, often our adversaries, refer their family members hurt in accidents. They know the work we do. They all refer Warshevsky because big case or small, we can help. If someone you love is injured, please let them know, because at the end of their ordeal, their injury is about the money. Warshevsky.com.
Sick of all the homeowner headaches? Tired of being a landlord? Did you inherit a property? Go to MetroMilwaukeeHomebuyer.com. We are a local family business, A+ with the BBB. It will make you a fair as-is cash offer within 24 hours. No fees, just cash. MetroMilwaukeeHomebuyer.com.
When Flawless Flooring installs luxury vinyl plank, hardwood, modern laminate, or carpeting, I personally guarantee your satisfaction with every step from shopping through installation. I'm Flawless Flooring's president, Dave Brownsdorf, and I approve this message. Send Under load, flawless flooring. FlawlessFlooringLC.com.
Attorney Tom Grieve here for Divergent Family Law. Many divorce lawyers set the divorce stage as a cage match, fight of your life. They make money off your misery. The quality of your attorney and Wisconsin law have greater impact on your divorce decree than fighting will. Divergent Family Law is the right firm for your soul and finances. Transitioning to your own life path doesn't have to mean doing as much damage possible to everyone involved. Divergent Family Law. Separate and equal, or better. DivergentFamilyLaw.com.
So how would I describe our people? I'd say the people we set out to hire have to be smart, hardworking, and honest. Honesty being paramount of the three. Because honesty breeds integrity. And when you have integrity, you won't let yourself do anything less than your best. And that's who we're looking for. Character counts here, and integrity matters. That's why it's easy for us to offer the industry's best lifetime workmanship warranty with every roof we sell. A rock-solid warranty like ours guarantees our reputation and assures your satisfaction. At Semperfi, we do the right thing. We seize the moral high ground and we hold it. And when you do that, you end up having a business that's going to last for generations. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semperfi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semperfi.
MKG Transport is a production process mover who won't pretend we've never heard of your company when you call. And MKG doesn't leave you sitting on hold. Manufacturers from Madison to Green Bay to Fond du Lac to Kenosha to Rockford, MKG is your competitive advantage. MKG's communication is success. Your success. MKG movers are same-day precision movers. We deliver and we pick up. With MKG, the price we quote is the price you pay. Period. Our drive, manufacturing movement. MKGtransport.com.
What's the general rule of sales? Under promise, over deliver. It's like that in radio too. You never want to over promise. Like, say, today's unhinged liberal of the day just might be the best unhinged liberal of the entire year. But this is where we are. Ladies and gentlemen, listen and judge for yourselves if I was full of you-know-what.
Make me crazy.
Trump is Hitler.
We are in pre-Nazi Germany.
Make me crazy.
All white people are racist.
Does that make me crazy?
Trump is dangerous because he's evil. America is over.
Today's unhinged liberal of the day is film and singing star Selena Gomez, who posted a video of herself, which has since been deleted, because she was sobbing. And when I say sobbing, I mean heaving sobs over Donald Trump ordering the deportation of gangbangers, drug cartel members, violent criminals, and rapists. Take it away, Selena.
I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry. So many people are getting attacked. Children. I don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know what to do. I'll try everything, I promise.
I'm sorry. I am sorry. No, the producer Dave says she's not nearly a good enough actress to be fake. If this was Meryl Streep, I'd be like, all right, that's probably not genuine. Can she even name any one of the people who was deported? Tell me, Selena, which illegal alien rapist is the one that you feel most devastated about getting kicked out of our country? Do you have a particular favorite drug cartel member? Is it Chavo? I mean, like what? It is just so, it's like the machine gun of emotion. She's just spraying tears everywhere and not really caring what exactly she hits. Selena Gomez, your unhinged liberal of the day. Oh, so turns out I have another minute. Selena Gomez is your unhinged liberal of the day. My eyes are getting so bad, Dave. I glanced at 3:59. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking it's 4 o'clock. Okay, good. I have more time. I have more time to make fun of Selena Gomez. As I was saying, no, I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, why are you just fading the music out? We have to go play the news sounder, Dave. Like, boy, oh boy, some things never change. Okay, I've got a couple more seconds to keep making fun of Selena Gomez. As I was saying, it's like the machine gun of tears. She's just kind of spraying emotion in all directions, not really understanding what she's crying about, but knowing that she's big sad over the big orange man. Now we're going to break. Talk to you on the other side.
News that's factual, fair, and balanced. This is continuing coverage on News Talk 1130 WISN, Milwaukee.
Good afternoon. I'm Sean Maloney. The White House says the Colombian government has agreed to President Trump's terms after threatening tariffs because Colombia denied entry to a pair of U.S. military deportation flights carrying Colombian migrants. Wisconsin taxpayers can begin filing their state income tax returns today. Taxpayers have until April 15th to file their returns and pay their taxes. Business news brought to you by the Good Feet store. The Dow was up 289.3 points, the S&P 500 down 88.9 points, and the Nasdaq down 612.5 points. Checking the holiday automotive of Fond du Lac Sports scoreboard, the Green Bay Packers have signed special teams coordinator Rich Bisaccia to an extension, and the Bucs are on the road tonight in Utah to take on the Jazz. From the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin News Center, I'm Sean Maloney on Wisconsin's most listened to radio station, News Talk 1130 WISN.
Here's the latest forecast presented by AdventKnows.com from the Fox 6 weather experts.
Windy and warmer today. Should see a high near 42 with a very strong southwest wind gusting up around 40-45 miles per hour. Overnight tonight, a few clouds and low 20s, and from there back to the 40s tomorrow. And once again, a bit of a windy day. I'm Fox 6 Chief Meteorologist Rob Haswell.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. Download the Lowe's app to get their home improvement playbook in your hands so you can get their team's expertise anytime.
Your expenses this month were way higher than you expected. Also, you forgot to renew your website domain, and now you're in a bidding war. On your face.
At Progressive, small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Plus, the fridge died in the break room, and now everything smells weird.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
So the Donahos invited us to dinner.
Hang on, honey. Hello?
Hi, this is Lori from First American Bank.
Whoa, honey, it's the bank. Listen to how real this AI voice sounds.
Hello?
Yes, hello. I'm calling about your First American Bank home equity line of credit application.
That is free.
Right? What do I press for? Representative.
Oh, you don't press anything. I'm a real person.
Now it's claiming to be a real person.
Wow.
Sir, along with First American Bank's best loan deals in town, we pride ourselves on providing impeccable personal service. That's why you get me, a real-life specialist, to help you every step of the way with your loan. Isn't that more useful than passing you off to an artificial intelligence chatbot?
What's 2 times 2?
4.
Who created the Dewey Decimal System?
Melville Dewey.
Limburger sandwich or cheese curds?
Oh, you're not dragging me into that one.
First American Bank, the bank that does more for your money. Visit firstandbank.com or call us at 262-577-2400. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
I'm Kelly Lammert with Clean Living Environments. Clean Living Environments, superior agitation, high-powered suction gets more filth out of your furnace ducts. Crud doesn't unstick from surfaces. It became glued in place over years of humid, then dry, then humid airflow. Vacuum cleaners agitate. Suction alone doesn't get carpet clean. Next, Clean Living Environments gets more wasted air out of ducts with AeroSeal duct sealing. Loosely fit together tin pipes snakes from the furnace through walls to vents. Loosely boxed off stud spaces and right angle turns return unheated or cooled air to furnaces. Dank basement air is sucked into gaps and distributed throughout the house, while tonnage of heated or cooled air escapes before being distributed throughout the home, resulting in more dust, musty smells, not enough heated or cooled air to parts of the house, and larger energy bills. Clean Living Environments duct sealing reduces air duct leakage 70 to 99%, reducing gas consumption while increasing whole home comfort and cleanliness. Get more out of your ducts. CleanLivingEnvironments.com. That's CleanLivingEnvironments.com.
Catering to all who appreciate quality installation, a great value, and the finest windows and doors. Your clear choice for more. Lisbon Storm Screen and Door. Find us at LisbonStorm.com.
Your clear choice for more. Lisbon Storm Screen and Door.
Bob here for Redefine Realty, powered by EasyHomeBidder.com.
Brian here. I was in the market to buy my first home. I rushed to see houses the day they went live on MLS. Made offers on 5 houses before finally getting the 6th accepted. I would have increased my bid on all 5 of the other houses I didn't get, but never got the chance.
Brian's story is tragic for Brian, but also for sellers. Brian would have paid more for each of the 5 houses he didn't get. That's 5 sellers, guided by traditional MLS agents who sold their home for less than they could have. Redefined Realty, powered by EasyHomeBidder.com's auction platform and MLS, would have earned all 5 Wisconsin area home sellers more money. A lot more money. Selling a fixer-upper, a duplex, a condo, a $400,000 home, or a multi-million-dollar home. When buyers bid, sellers win. In fact, when buyers bid, buyers win too. Heck, everybody wins at Redefined Realty and EasyHomeBidder.com. Buyers win, sellers win. Obvious, but revolutionary. When buyers win, sellers win. It's real estate for winners. RedefinedRealty.com.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at ACCUNET.com.
Edition of the Dan O'Donnell Show. Hour 2 starts now. President Trump is expected any minute now to speak to GOP House members. We will join that in progress for a little bit. We have got a ton to get to on deportations. Maybe we'll get more sobbing Selena Gomez, which is already the clubhouse favorite for the unhinged liberal of the year. Took her a grand total of about 3 hours to delete that from social media after even Democrats were pointing out how disingenuous it looked. We will genuinely be excited for you if you win $1,000 in the cold hard cash contest. The word this hour is bills. BILLS, bills. You have got until 55 past the hour to go to our website and enter the keyword bills to enter the contest for this hour. I was kind of hoping that wouldn't be one of our words today, because I didn't want to get into the heartbreaking loss yet again of the Buffalo Bills. Dalton Kincaid, the tight end for the Bills, not America's painter of light. I believe that was Thomas Kincaid. He comes down with that miracle heave by Josh Allen as Kansas City is bringing the blitz on 4th down, and he almost had it with a diving catch. We're talking about that being one of the greatest plays possibly in the history of the NFL. Instead, we're again talking about Kansas City being the beneficiary of a rigged game. Am I the only one who thinks on another 4th down play, Josh Allen did not get it? Seriously? Am I the only one who thinks he did not get across the line and that the call was correct? Yes, I know. Everybody has been highlighting the fact that one referee who is coming from the top of the screen appeared to... So when the referees run to spot the ball, they run along the yard line so that they know exactly where they're spotting it. They run along the hash mark of where they're going to spot the ball. One ref was running, and it looked like he was going to give Buffalo the first down. He gets overruled by the other ref. That happens all the time. It's not that the game was rigged or anything like that. You guys are all starting to sound like Janet Protasewicz. The game is rigged! Look, I'm sick of the Kansas City Chiefs, too. I was rooting real hard for Buffalo, but I don't think the game is rigged. What I do think might be rigged is the so-called AI Sputnik moment, which everyone in the tech world is talking about, everyone in the business world is talking about. It is, of course, DeepSeek. If you don't know what that is, you will. Trust me. It is a startup company out of China. It launched a free AI assistant last week. It uses far less data than its American competitors like ChatGPT. That's probably the best known and probably the closest comp. Pretty much every tech company has their own AI, a virtual assistant, if you will. OpenAI, which contracts with Microsoft to use ChatGPT. I forget what Cortana? No, I forget what Microsoft calls it, but it's powered. Is that it? Cortana? Oh, I have no idea. He may. Google has Gemini. X has Grok. They all have a version of the same thing. What makes DeepSeek so revolutionary is that it uses so much less data to actually power it that it's light years ahead in terms of the practical application of this for something other than helping high school kids cheat on English papers or helping you find out who won the World Series in 1946. In addition to that, it uses roughly 20 to 50 times less money to operate. Supposedly, the DeepSeek V3 model used NVIDIA's lower capability H800 chips for training. Now, this is significant because it only cost about $6 million. The reason NVIDIA has been just a rocket ship of a stock over the past year or so is because its higher-end chips, which cost a fortune, are seen as necessary to power AI development and machine learning. So DeepSeek R1 is 20 to 50 times cheaper than OpenAI's O1, depending on the task. Mark Andreessen, who is a very, very famous Silicon Valley venture capitalist, said in a post on X that the R1 model was AI's Sputnik moment, referring to the moment that the Soviet Union went light years ahead, pardon the pun, or so it seemed, in the space race. Now, not everyone is convinced that this is genuine. Remember I said, and this is reporting from CNBC, that NVIDIA was providing its lower-end chips, the H800 chips, which makes this far cheaper than OpenAI or pretty much anything else. Alexander Wang is the CEO of Scale AI. He went on CNBC today and expressed a whole lot of skepticism about which chips DeepSeek was actually using.
You know, the Chinese labs, they have more H100s than people think. You know, and these are the highest powered NVIDIA chips that they were not supposed to have. Yes. My understanding is that DeepSeek has about 50,000 H100s, which they can't talk about, obviously, because it is against the export controls that the United States has put in place. And I think it is true that, I think they have more chips than other people expect, but also on a go-forward basis, they are going to be limited by the chip controls and the export controls that we have in place.
So he thinks that not only was DeepSeek using chips that they weren't supposed to because of what he calls export controls, but also these are the higher capability ones, that they've got thousands and thousands of these, and they're only reporting that it cost $5 million to help this machine get up to speed with the ChatGPTs of the world. Joining us now to help make some sense of this and help you know the difference. We normally do this at about 5 to 4, but because this is such a big story, and it is, we are bringing in Dave Spano, the CEO of Annex Wealth Management, to discuss whether or not this really is a Sputnik moment. Dave, your initial thoughts on DeepSeek?
Well, first of all, that was just a great explanation of exactly what it is, because everyone's walking around and asking about DeepSeek. Well, now we know it's an app. It's the #1 app as of today on the Apple Store. People are downloading this thing and asking it questions, and it's performing really well. And if it is true, if you believe this Chinese company that they're doing it for $6 million, that then unroiled the market because NVIDIA's chips are so much more expensive. And you think about companies that are buying this, Meta and Microsoft, we're going to hear from them this week in their earnings reports. And if they are saying they are spending, I believe Microsoft is going to say something around $60 billion. If they could get it for a much less price, what does that do to their CapEx spendings? I look at it as a positive. Let's just take this Chinese company at face value and say that it's true, even though most analysts don't believe that it costs $6 million. That means that their CapEx spend would be significantly less. Yes, NVIDIA would be the loser in this, but Microsoft and Meta would be allowed to spend less money on capital expenditures. That would be good for them, right? So necessity is the mother of all invention. This could be, in a capitalistic society, a good thing. If that's the Sputnik experiment, this could be a good thing. And we'll see where the spend comes from here on out.
Because what you're saying is that this would essentially force the NVIDIAs of the world, it would force the OpenAIs to get cheaper, to get more efficient, and to produce for less, to keep up with China. I guess the question I have, Dave, is the same question that Alexander Wang has, and that's, look, we have, since Richard Nixon opened up relations with China, 50-some years ago, we have had an ongoing issue with Chinese piracy, that essentially they take American technology, even if it's something as simple as a wrench, right? And they will take and just mimic it. I mean, my goodness, you want to find a knockoff Giannis jersey. There's about 20 million places in China you can find one. They don't respect American trademarks. They don't respect American patents. And when
IP theft.
Yeah, it is blatant IP theft. And in his last term, President Trump was taking aim at that. And that was one of the big impetuses behind the trade war. You've got to imagine that the U.S. government in the second Trump administration has taken an even closer look at this, and probably taking a look to see exactly what is being used to power this thing, exactly whose technology might be behind it. I guess my point is that I'll believe it when I see it. It just strikes me that this is, well, it does everything, say, a ChatGPT does, but cheaper. I mean, hasn't this been China's entire MO for a half century? We'll do what Americans can do, only cheaper, because we're knocking off all of their technology and essentially using slave labor to build it.
Yeah. So first of all, let's talk about IP theft. We know that this happens. Companies have been complaining about this for years. If you want to do business with China, you've got to turn over all of your ideas. Well, then they take them and run with it. Now, secondarily, I'd like to hear a statement out of NVIDIA to say that they aren't using their chips. That'll be a big deal. And I expect that out of them this week. And again, Let's listen to see what Meta and Microsoft say about that. But, generally, competition is good, right? And increased competition, that rarely decreases aggregate spending in a particular area. So this could be good all the way around. There could be a loser in NVIDIA and the picks and shovels companies that are related to them. But again, I am very skeptical about it. But I will tell you this, Dan, we have been managing change for the entire time I've been doing this, going on 4 decades. This is change. And let's take a look at what exactly is the real story. Sometimes emotions happen in the short term. So let's really focus on the facts and the circumstances and then manage to that. So right now, folks, I'd say let's take a breath. Let's look at what's real here, what isn't. Last time we had something coming out of a Chinese lab. Well, we know what happened there.
That is a great point. Oh, that is a great point. And actually, by the way, over the weekend, the CIA essentially changed its analysis, and it now believes that the most likely scenario is always what the most likely scenario has always been. That
the first week of Trump's presidency, they changed their position.
Yeah,
isn't that interesting?
It's so weird that the thing that Trump was saying in February of 2020, even before the entire world shut down the following month, of course, this thing escaped from the Wuhan Institute of Technology. Of course, it did. All right, Dave, you can be reached at annexwealth.com. The best way to manage change is to know what you own in your portfolio, why you own it. Don't panic. Yes, the NASDAQ dropped 3% today. You might get value buyers propping that thing up another 4% tomorrow. You just don't know. And that's why you need the experienced team at Annex Wealth Management helping you out as a fee-only fiduciary. Know what you own, why you own it with a free wealth metric. It's a review of your portfolio available only at annexwealth.com. Dave, thank you so much for going on a little longer with me this afternoon to help us kind of understand what this means in the immediate short term. Really do appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. We'll talk to you again.
Absolutely. In the long term, what does the AI revolution mean? We'll try to discuss that in a little bit greater depth when the Dan O'Donnell Show returns after this.
Rapid traffic on News Talk 1130 WISN.
From the Lynch family of dealerships Total Traffic Center.
Is on the southbound Rock Freeway past Highway 100 with police activity off to the right shoulder. 94 westbound, you're going to be jammed from 16th over to Mitchell Boulevard and southbound 4145 from Capitol to Burleigh. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest Total Traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Lynch Automotive family of dealerships.
Rev up the savings at the Lynch family of dealerships and cruise into the new year with financing as low as 0% APR to approved credit or $10,000 in rebates on select new vehicles. Over 1,200 vehicles in stock. Find your ride today at shoplynch.com.
When the wildfires struck Los Angeles,
severe fire weather conditions.
First responders from near and far came to the rescue.
All fire departments and all law enforcement will be prepared.
Now the music community has joined together to help at Fire Aid, a historic fundraising concert for the recovery of Los Angeles. Thursday night, starting at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. Live on the free iHeartRadio app's Hit Nation station.
And give what you can now at fireaidla.org.
Hi, I'm Willa Voss. I'm 8 years old. Mom and Dad own Cut and Go Tree Service. Yes, they did name me after a tree. Our family loves this country and the freedom it provides. Every morning, I look forward to starting the school day with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please say it along with me, even if you just say it in your mind. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. American patriots will enjoy a 5% discount for flying the American flag and mentioning this commercial when the Cut and Go remote control, automobile mounted, articulated crane, grapple saw operators are putting your dead trees on the ground wood or removing large branches that grew over something important. An all-American Tons of Trees movement. CutandGoTrees.com. That's CutandGoTrees.com.
Hey, Dan O'Donnell for Mander Collision and Glass, now with 7 locations to serve you across the greater Milwaukee area. Start your repair right now at mandercollision.com. Mander truly is the best decision after a collision.
I'm Dr. Dan Ross of Ross Dental New Berlin and our second Ross Dental Waukesha location. In dentistry, technology improves your experience ongoing if your dentist keeps up. We do. Most dentists finish same-day dental restorations the next visit, or the visit after that, after you're fitted with a temporary restoration. At Ross Dental, you come in with one tooth or teeth in need of substantial restoration and leave the same day with a fully restored, beautiful smile. With Ross's sedation dentistry, we can even replace a whole upper or lower arch of severely damaged or decayed teeth painlessly and quickly. Using Ross Dental's cutting-edge CEREC, I scan your prep tooth and send the precise AutoCAD-generated dimensions to our in-house mill. You relax. A filling or crown matching your natural tooth enamel is fabricated in minutes for perfect same-day, healthful, permanent restoration. With Ross Dental's affordable financing and convenient New Berlin and Waukesha locations, you can schedule same-day restorations, and very soon you'll smile like you just don't care, because you don't. RossDentalWI.com. That's RossDentalWI.com.
If you're a woman looking to take control of your financial future, you are not alone. Women are leading the way in business and managing household finances, but challenges still exist. That's why NX Wealth Management presents the Women in Wealth series every third Thursday. It'll empower you with knowledge and resources to succeed. Join us for collaborative discussions, community building, and learn about key areas of financial planning. Women in Wealth events are free every third Thursday. Sign up at annexwealth.com/events and bring a friend.
Hospitalized medicine has a lifelong prescription for every symptom, and each prescription causes more symptoms. Total Health works to restore health so you don't need their pills or treatment. It's not theory. Relativity equals expertise plus execution. TotalHealthInc.com.
I'm defense attorney Tom Grieve. Never drive drunk. If arrested for DUI, say nothing. Remember, anything that you say can and will be used against you in court. Even if a friendly arresting officer tells you otherwise, a first-time DUI is a big deal. A first-time drunk driving conviction stays on your record for life, can impact career opportunities far down the road, and even limit your ability to rent a car or travel abroad. Call my award-winning team of former state prosecutors for help. You are only guilty if you are convicted. GrieveLaw.com. That's GrieveLaw.com.
For more information about contests on News Talk 1130 WISN, go to newstalk1130.com/rules. All programs on News Talk 1130 WISN are broadcast through the NX Wealth Management Studios. NX Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Listener makes a great point texting in on the adventknows.com talk and text line 414-799-1130. How do we know that this new, as my brother just put it in a rather hilarious text, Temu AI is not a Chinese spy app, much like TikTok? Temu. You don't know what Temu is, Dave? Oh, okay. He's calling the new AI Temu AI, and I tend to agree. It's called DeepSeek, and Dave Spano was referring to it in our podcast that we host together. It's called The Difference, a deep fake. There is nobody who believes that they did this for $5 million. Nobody. Everyone believes that they cut corners, that they cheated, that they used American tech, that they pirated existing technology, like the Chinese always do. Hence, Temu AI is probably the best way to put it. Go to Temu right now. First of all, don't if you care about not putting spyware on your computer. And I dare you to try to buy something from Temu without playing the stupid little spin the wheel game to try to get 20% off your order. It is a pop-up that no matter how many times, and what happens is, I think I told you, I did a lot of my shopping for Christmas on Facebook. Whatever it was, Facebook's algorithm. I'm buying stock in Facebook's AI because they got me pegged for exactly what I wanted to buy people for Christmas. And some of those, you click on the ad and it takes you to Temu. I'm like, no, God, stop. Get me away from Temu and the 15 different pop-ups on there. But go to Temu, and everything on there is a ripoff of something either American or European. Every single thing. Everything. This is what the Chinese do. They create, well, America creates, China takes. What is it? America makes, China takes, and Europe taxes. It's some saying that kind of encapsulates where we are as a global economy. What's going on here with the AI panic, and there was $1 trillion just wiped out. I think in large measure, people have been overly optimistic and putting all of the AI eggs in just a couple of baskets, the biggest one being NVIDIA. That NVIDIA was already crowned the one winner out of the AI boom, the definitive winner, because only their chips could power all of these AI technologies. Well, now there's actual competition in the marketplace. We think, as Dave Spano said, this probably is going to be ultimately a good thing as it forces companies to lower their prices. It forces companies to get more efficient. It forces companies to produce a better product for less money that takes up less of your data and bandwidth to be able to run. Ultimately, it results in a better AI. However, the idea that one Chinese knockoff can come in and upset the entire industry and somehow America is no longer the global leader in AI. Trump just announced a $500 billion investment from Oracle, from OpenAI, and from SoftBank. Why didn't they just go to China? They already had the DeepSeek technology that was available. If it could be made cheaper over there, why not make a $500 billion investment in China? Yes, I know the controls of the government are much more onerous. Foreign investment is not always welcomed Far East. But the point is that nobody is quite sure what this brave new world is going to look like, including me. What I can tell you, though, is that the applications of artificial intelligence technology are limitless. When I say limitless, I mean just that. I mean, artificial intelligence combined with advances in robotics that have been, pardon the pun, growing by leaps and bounds because the robots can now leap and bound. This can quite literally change everything. Every job, any job, can be replaced by a robot. We've seen the most rudimentary example of human beings being replaced with self-checkouts. Is there a place in America now, a chain store, that does not have at least 3 self-checkout lanes? Sure, these companies are taking bigger and bigger hits in shoplifting as people just aren't scanning all of the items that they're putting into their bags, but it's acceptable because they don't have to pay as many people. Now, imagine it's not just cashiers, but lawyers, architects, CPAs, financial advisors, heck, radio hosts. Do you think iHeartMedia wouldn't kill to have an AI Dan O'Donnell that doesn't get a salary, that learned my voice, that learned all of my mannerisms, that learned my writing style, studying thousands of hours of radio shows. Heck, it could create a Dan O'Donnell video. You're watching on the Dano cam? Theoretically, you could have a show done by Dan O'Donnell that's not done by Dan O'Donnell. Sports writers. You think that the Associated Press would need to send a human being to a game? You have the AI watch the game. The AI analyze the stats. It would do all the research instantly. The AI would be able to get the post-game press conference, grab a couple of pull quotes, and write a story for the next day's paper. A number of publications are already starting to do that. These are jobs that even a decade ago, even 3 years ago, you think a machine couldn't do that job. A machine could be a lawyer. A machine could design a machine could be an interior designer. Take a look at what is going on now, right now, on any number of design websites where you just have an AI. You take a picture of a corner of your house, the AI does the decorating for you. President Trump is now speaking at a congressional retreat. We will get to that after we take a break. You are listening to the Dan O'Donnell Show.
Keep in touch with Dan on Twitter at Dan O'Donnell Show. More of the show is next. Rapid traffic on News Talk 1130 WISN.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
Is on the southbound Rock Freeway past Highway 100 with police activity off to the right shoulder. 94 westbound, you're going to be jammed from 16th over to Mitchell Boulevard, and southbound 4145 from Capitol to Burleigh. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by the Lynch Automotive family of dealerships.
Rev up the savings at the Lynch family of dealerships and cruise into the new year with financing as low as 0% APR to approved credit or $10,000 in rebates on select new vehicles. Over 1,200 vehicles in stock. Find your ride today at shoplynch.com.
The Mark Belling podcast debuts on May 1st. No holds barred, freewheeling, and going after topics the mainstream media won't touch. Conservative? Yes. Intelligent? You betcha. Freewheeling? I don't know any other way. 35 years on the radio transitions to my first year in the brave new world of podcasting. The Mark Belling Podcast on the iHeart app or wherever you get your podcast. May 1st. Talk to you then.
I'm Dan Voss from Cut and Go. Ugly and depressing and trees killed off by emerald ash, oak wilt, and Dutch elm disease are dangerous for friends and loved ones, even a potential liability. Slowly rotting, left-standing hardwood trees can weigh tens of thousands of pounds. Even seemingly smaller branches can weigh tens, even hundreds of pounds. With Cut and Go, there is no reason to risk injury or property damage. Live trees in precarious placement for an arborist to remove over homes, garages, commercial buildings, luxury landscapes are easily and safely laid on the ground by Cut and Go's NCCER crane-operated certified remote control automobile mounted articulating crane grapple saw operators. You can save big money and stock up on firewood by having Cut and Go put your trees on the ground for you to clean up or have a bonfire or split firewood. Or we can take it all with us when we leave. A Tons of Trees movement. cutandgotrees.com. That's CUTNGO trees.com. Once again, that's cutandgotrees.com.
Hey, Dan O'Donnell for Mander Collision and Glass, now with 7 locations to serve you across the greater Milwaukee area. Start your repair right now at mandercollision.com. Mander truly is the best decision after a collision.
I'm board-certified plastic surgeon Michelle Boness. At my Brookfield MediSpa, getting rid of stubborn, resistant to diet and exercise fat deposits doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg, and doesn't have to come with the risk of potentially health-altering manufacturing injectable pharmaceuticals. As a board-certified plastic surgeon, I perform cosmetic procedures, including liposuction 360. During liposuction, I don't count the number of passes I make on fatty deposits. I continue until achieving positive body transformational results. While most cool sculpting vendors charge per cycle, Boness Body and Face MediSpa charge one value price, regardless of cycles required for aesthetically pleasing fat reduction. Next, CoolTone's electromagnetic energy is precisely applied to small, weak, hard to isolate with exercise muscles, causing rapid muscle contractions, strengthening, and toning. Unlike injectable fat reduction drugs, side effects of CoolTone are stronger sculpted buttocks, ab, and thigh muscles. Good for long-term health and looks. Your body, your life, love it. drboness.com.
Warshawski trial attorney Frank Crivello here.
Folks, I'm Victor Harding. Frank is selected Best Lawyers 2024 Complex Litigation Lawyer of the Year.
More impressive is Victor Harding named Product Liability Attorney of the Year again for 2024.
It may sound boastful to mention these prestigious awards.
It's not boastful considering if you or someone you love is injured, you need to know two attorneys from the same personal injury firm being chosen by other lawyers and judges for these caliber of awards is very rare.
Heaven forbid you ever need an injury claim made on your behalf. If you do, the quality of your attorney and law firm will have a greater impact on the outcome than even the facts of your case.
Former clients, other lawyers, judges, law enforcement officers, and even insurance adjusters,
often our adversaries,
refer their family and friends to Warshawski because they know Warshawski will achieve maximum compensation.
Injured? It is about the money.
Warshawski.com.
That's Warshawski.com.
Mike Wood here from Callan. 2025 looks brighter with our January promotion. Buy one, get one, 50% off on all Infinity from Marvin, fiberglass, windows, and patio doors. This includes installation and financing is available. Plus, enjoy 20% off window treatments from Bayview Shade and Blind when you order windows with Callan. Get a head start on your 2025 projects by visiting us at callcallan.com and click the green button. Callan, design, build, live.
Hi, it's Jason from Capital Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric, and I've never told you why Capital does same-day repair 7 days a week. Years ago, in the dead of winter, the heat failed in an apartment building I was responsible for, so I called a big local heating company who promised to help, but never showed up. After 1 million calls, I mustered the know-how and fixed it myself. That's when I decided Milwaukee deserves a company that cares, and that's why we offer same-day repair 7 days a week. Visit callcapitalcares.com because Capital cares.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to goodrx.com/GLP. That's goodrx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Here's a question. Will Selena Gomez be the last celebrity sobbing over President Trump's deportations? Before we get to the president speaking to House GOP members, I can't help myself. Here she is.
I'm so sorry. So many people are getting attacked. Children.
Children? What children? These are hardened criminals, you idiot.
I don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know what to do. I'll try everything, I promise.
You know why I love the Trump administration? The border czar, Tom Homan, responded directly to this. He's on Fox News this afternoon, and he's asked about the weepy Selena Gomez video that's been pulled off now.
I don't think we arrested any families. We've arrested public safety threats and national security threats, bottom line. And look, President Trump won the election on this one issue, securing our border and saving lives. What happened on our southern border last 4 years is the biggest national security threat this country's seen, at least in my lifetime, because we got over 2 million known gotaways. We got a 600% increase in sex trafficking. We got a record number of terrorists crossing the border on the terrorist watch list. We have 250,000 Americans die from fentanyl coming across the open border. We're going to do this job, and we're going to enforce the laws of this country. If they don't like it, then go to Congress and change the law. We're going to do this operational apology. We're going to make our community safer. We're going to save. Once we lock that border on continuous operation, you're going to see fentanyl deaths decrease, illegal alien crime decrease, sex trafficking decrease. It's just all for the good of this nation, and we're going to keep going. No apologies. We're moving forward.
Yeah, Holman. Nobody's apologizing. Nobody's backing down. Nobody is going to allow a weepy celebrity or resistance or video that gets replayed nonstop that's deliberately made to make American ICE agents and Border Patrol agents look like the bad guys. Speaking of which, Fox's Bill Malugin reporting this afternoon that a group of Border Patrol agents were shot at near Fronton, Texas this afternoon. They were fired upon from Mexico by suspected cartel gunmen as a group of illegals were being brought across the river. BP apparently returned fire. Nobody was hit on either side. The illegal aliens did not make it across to enter the United States. This, ladies and gentlemen, is why President Trump, in one of his very first executive actions, declared the cartels to be a terrorist organization so that we can use military might against them. Speaking of the president, he is speaking now at the Congressional Institute. Let's join it live in progress.
It was so one-sided. You know, we had obligations, but Russia didn't, China didn't, other countries didn't. We paid everything. We're going to lose $1 trillion over a short period of time on that. And we had to do everything. They didn't have to do anything. It was ridiculous. And I canceled the insane and very costly electric vehicle mandate. So you can buy a car of your choice. If you like gasoline, go have it. And if you like hybrids are doing well. You can have it, or you can buy an electric car. We like electric. We like everything, but you have to have a right to buy everything. I withdrew from the World Health Organization, where we paid $500 million a year, and China paid just $39 million a year, despite a much larger population. How about that? So we're paying $500 million a year. China's paying $39 million a year. They have 1.4 billion people. We have nobody knows what we have. So many people came across the border, and nobody has any idea. I used to say like 325, but we really don't know. But we're going to know soon. We're going to know. And I tell you, our people are doing Tom Holman and his staff are doing an incredible job getting the bad ones out. I declared a national energy emergency to unlock the liquid gold that's right under our feet, because we will drill, baby, drill. We're going to drill, baby, drill. It's going to bring down prices. And your energy costs are going to go way down, and that'll happen, I think, relatively quickly. I'm going to give fast environmental approval for anybody building a plant for electric generation, and anybody that invests more than $1 billion will get super rapid approval. Not that they have to wait for 9 years, 14 years, like I approved LNG plants in Louisiana. They were waiting for so many years. It wasn't Louisiana's fault. It was some people, they just wouldn't get them done. You've got a snail here, a tiny tree here, and I got it done in a matter of a few days. From 14 years, I got it done in about 3 days. The people, as we called them, I'll never forget, I called them and I said, congratulations, you got your permit. What? They were so shell-shocked. They didn't know what the hell was happening. They're going to spend, and they spent about $16 billion on each plant, and they've been roaring since then. But we got them done in a matter of a few days. Over the past week, we've begun the largest deregulation campaign in history, far exceeding even the record-setting efforts in my first name. That was record-setting deregulation, and that was just as big as tax cuts as far as business and jobs were concerned, I'll tell you. I actually asked, it's interesting because I actually asked some of the biggest businessmen in the country. I said, let me ask you, have you had the choice between the big tax cuts? We cut it from 40% to 21%. We're going to cut it further. but we cut it down to 20. Everybody said that would be impossible. The people on the stage helped us with that one a lot. But I said, if you had your choice of that or the big deregulation cuts, what would you take? These are the guys that run the big companies, the big oil companies, the big companies of every kind. I said, would you take the big tax cut or the big cut in regulations? And I've never had anybody said they'll take the tax cut. They took the regulation cut. I'll bet I asked that question 100 times to 100 of the biggest people. They always said, sir, we'll take the regulation cut. You opened us up. You let us create all these jobs that we've all seen happen. So it was even bigger than the big tax cut. I also signed an order to end the weaponization of our government against the American people and investigate all abuses of power. And I stopped government censorship once and for all, and we brought back free speech to America. That's what happened. We're going to bring it back. We didn't have free speech. We didn't have free speech. I mean, I was investigated more than any human being in history. Alphonse Capone was a baby. Now, this was a serious killer, Scarface. You've all heard of Scarface. He had a scar for a reason. He didn't play games, but he was Scarface. Of course, nobody ever called him Scarface to his face. They said, Al, you look great today. Guy had a scar that was like 2 inches thick that ran from here to here. And they say, Al, you look fantastic. But Scarface was not investigated as much as your president was investigated. And it turned out to be a positive thing for me. Can you believe it? It turned out to be, we got a lot of votes. I think we got a lot of votes because they saw it was weaponization. It was a fight against a political opponent. I ordered the end to all of the lawless diversity, equity, and inclusion nonsense policies across the government and all across the private sector and the military.
All right, that is President Trump speaking at the Congressional Institute. He is meeting with members of the House GOP caucus. By the way, it is announced that the very first piece of legislation he is going to sign is going to come in 2 days, 2 p.m. Eastern. President Trump is going to sign the Laken-Riley Act. This is how you know Americans are with Trump on the issue of illegal immigration. 10 Democrats joined every Republican in voting for this bill. This is the first piece of legislation since the 1990s that is a straight enforcement action. That isn't tied to funding for resettling migrants or anything like that. It merely enforces America's border. It merely makes it easier to get people out of this country when they commit crimes. Democrats understand that they are in the minority, the distinct minority on this. It's pretty much them and Selena Gomez weeping over the poor child sex criminals who are being kicked out of the country. In fact, even CNN is noticing that Americans are with Trump. Harry Enton, who is CNN's data guru on one of the daytime shows today.
I just want to know how different things are from where we were when Donald Trump first took office and how much more the American people are on the side of Republicans than they were 8 years ago. So trust which party more on immigration. You go back to April of 2017. Look at this. The Democrats held an 11-point advantage over Republicans. So Americans were not liking what Donald Trump and the Republican Party was doing back at the beginning of his first term. Look at where they are now, though. Poll out just in the last week after Donald Trump took office. Which party you trust more on immigration? Look at the margin Republicans are putting up here. A 22-point lead over Democrats. You rarely see issues in which the American people side so much with one party over the other, but on the main issue that Donald Trump has been pumping up and Republicans have been pumping up since the beginning of his term that began just 1 week ago, Republicans lead overwhelmingly on this. It's not just unusual for right now. It's just so much different than where we were 8 years ago. It just gives the Republicans a lot more leverage.
It is so rare that one party leads the other by 22 points on a given issue, and for it to turn around that quickly isn't just surprising, it's telling. But as we'll see in the next hour, this is in line with where America has always been, and importantly, where Democrats traditionally were too. Before we get to that, the unsung hero of the day, next on The Dan O'Donnell Show.
Conservative thought, not just talk. You're listening to The Dan O'Donnell Show. Rapid Traffic on News Talk 1130 WISN.
From the Lynch family of dealerships Total Traffic Center.
Outbound 43 at the Marquette interchange, got a stall block in the center lane, jammed back to Fond du Lac, taking 13 from Round Deer, add another 10 on 4394 down to the Mitchell. I'm Kevin Henry, and that's your latest Total Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's knows that with job site delivery as soon as same day, you can get what you need without losing valuable time. They help, you save. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes for same-day delivery, subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See lowes.com/same-day delivery for details.
I'm Dave Brownsdorf, president of Flawless Flooring. Realtor.com says depending on location and a few other factors, new hardwood floors add as much as 2.5% to a home sale value, even if you plan to sell. Enjoy home more now while increasing your sale price with Flawless's LVP, hardwood, or amazing, realistic, super wear-resistant modern laminate plank. Steamy wet dog and litter box aromas bother homeowners and buyers. But you say, Dave, we want the sound deadening and warmth underfoot of carpet? Our Delafield and New Berlin showrooms have countless style and combination flooring choices, including quality luxury carpet lines. Steamy stains and carpet stink, including pet fluids, wipe off Flawless Flooring's luxury vinyl plank and modern laminate plank, zero steam effortlessly. Our employee-only craftsmen meticulously refinish existing hardwood, even perfectly blending additional hardwood with existing. With Flawless's nothing down, zero interest financing, upgrade today and pay over 21 months. Sensory underload Flawless Flooring. FlawlessFlooringLLC.com.
Henry Wadsworth Longfellow famously said, "Into each person's life, some rain must fall." At Ryan Waterproofing, we tend to agree, as long as it's not in your basement. Free estimates, because praying for drought is overrated. Ryan Waterproofing. Call Ryan.com. That's call, RION.com.
If you're someone who's experiencing shoulder, spine, hip, knee, or musculoskeletal pain and a total joint replacement might be in your future, think Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Their physicians specialize in same-day total joint replacements at their own ambulatory surgery center. See orthowisconsin.com.
Attorney Tom Grieve here for Divergent Family Law. Making only left turns navigating roads is far more difficult. Eating only dessert leads to malnourishment. Doing one gender of divorce forgoes expertise. Divergent Family Law is better at both sides of divorce due to complex, vast experience on both sides of divorce. Gentlemen, if you believe women are inferior, Divergent Family Law is the wrong divorce firm for you. If, however, you believe your wife is a cunning, manipulative, superior woman who will do anything to destroy your future path, Divergent Family Law is the right firm for you. Ladies, if your husband hires a misogynist divorce firm, Divergent attorneys will block any gender-based outcomes. Ladies and gentlemen, Divergent Family Law attorneys know Wisconsin family law. We know the proclivities of members of the judiciary, and so we can predict up front how your divorce decree will read before it is written, regardless of your spouse's attorney. Divergent Family Law, separate and equal, or better. DivergentFamilyLaw.com.
You understand the premise?
Yes, the premise is a promise.
And the promise is for our big bank
to be like First American Bank.
No. We promise to try and be like First American Bank.
What?
It's impossible for us to be like First American Bank. They have the best loan deals in town.
Really?
Really. And First American Bank gives you a First American Bank loan specialist who works with you every step of the way.
No.
Yes.
So no shuffling them around from department to department, person to person?
Just a First American Bank specialist to make the loan process quick, easy, and smooth.
So First American Bank can do everything a big bank like us can do and more.
Yeah, makes me nauseous, too.
Ooh, better idea. We just promise to be more like First American Bank. I mean, is more or is less than more still more?
Oh.
We'll fool everyone.
Yeah, love it.
Thank you.
First American Bank, the bank that does more for your money. Visit firstambank.com or call us at 262-577-2400. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The new iHeart app.
Yeah, I've been playing around with it.
Love my radio, love my presets.
Thank you.
This is really easy to use.
Join the millions already on the new and improved iHeartRadio app and set your first preset. Plus, discover the new live radio dial, scan, lyrics, podcasts, playlists, and your favorite artist's radio.
Open the app and everything's right there. I love it.
The new and improved iHeartRadio app. It's everything you love about your car radio in the palm of your hand.
Go get it. iHeartRadio.
Opinion, emotion, passion. This is News Talk 1130 WISN. This is where sycophants and shills are shunned, and commitment to the unvarnished truth is sustained. Just one reason that this is Wisconsin's most listened to radio station. News Talk 1130, WISN.
Next hour, we cover illegal immigration, from Donald Trump putting the screws to Colombia while on the golf course, to the Democratic Socialists of Milwaukee inadvertently giving up the game on voter ID, and Democrats beclowning themselves with their hypocrisy over the whole thing. Right now, though, it's time to name the unsung hero of the day. Today's unsung hero is the Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance. Just like the border czar Tom Homan was not going to take any guff from some weepy celebrity like Selena Gomez, Vance on CBS's Face the Nation was not going to allow Margaret Brennan to do what news reporters on Sunday morning shows have long done to Republican politicians. Vance, over the issue of whether or not refugees are being properly vetted, had what might be the line of the Trump administration thus far.
Well, Margaret, I don't agree that all these immigrants or all these refugees have been properly vetted. In fact, we know that there are cases of people who allegedly were properly vetted and then were literally planning terrorist attacks on our country. That happened during the campaign, if you may remember. So clearly not all of these foreign nationals
but there are
have been properly
30,000
vetted.
people in the pipeline, Afghan refugees.
But my primary concern as the Vice President, Margaret, is to look after the American people. And now that we know that we have vetting problems with a lot of these refugee programs, we absolutely cannot unleash thousands of unvetted people into our country.
These people are vetted. These people are vetted.
Just like the guy who planned a terrorist attack in Oklahoma a few months ago, he was allegedly properly vetted, and many people in the media and the Democratic Party said that he was properly vetted. Clearly he wasn't. I don't want my children to share a neighborhood with people who are not properly vetted, and because I don't want it for my kids, I'm not going to force any other American citizens' kids to do that either.
No, and that was a very particular case. It wasn't clear if he was radicalized when he got here or while he was living here.
I don't really care, Margaret. I don't want that person in my country, and I think most Americans agree with me.
Boom! I don't really care, Margaret. This is the Let's Go Brandon of 2025. Well, he might have been radicalized while he was here. I don't really care, Margaret. Well, the gangbangers might have families who will miss him. I don't really care, Margaret. J.D. Vance, your unsung hero of the day.
News that's factual, fair, and balanced. This is continuing coverage on News Talk 1130 WISN, Milwaukee.
Good afternoon. I'm Sean Maloney. Two giant pandas have made their American debut. Bo Lee and Ching Pao can now be seen at the National Zoo in Washington, D.C. The zoo is also relaunching its giant panda cam, which includes 40 cameras in the panda habitat, recording live from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The Wisconsin Supreme Court is once again taking up a case that could weaken the state legislature. The liberal majority court on Friday agreed to accept the fast-tracked case that will decide how $50 million in public school reading money will be spent. The question for the court is who has the power to control money in the state budget, especially after the governor vetoed it. Checking the holiday automotive of Fond du Lac Sports scoreboard, the Bucs are on the road in Utah tonight to take on the Jazz, and the Packers have signed special teams coordinator Rich Bisaccia to an extension. From the Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin News Center, I'm Sean Maloney on Wisconsin's most listened to radio station, News Talk 1130 WISN.
Here's the latest forecast, presented by AdventKnows.com from the Fox 6 weather experts.
Windy and warmer today. Should see a high near 42 with a very strong southwest wind gusting up around 40-45 miles per hour. Overnight tonight, a few clouds and low 20s, and from there back to the 40s tomorrow, and once again, a bit of a windy day. I'm Fox 6 Chief Meteorologist Rob Haswell.
This report is sponsored by Hubie and Abraham. Voted best. Rated best. Hubie.com.
Injured? Do you want the best? Remember the name Hubie and Abraham.
Everyone I know told me they're the best. I would give them a lot of stars.
More than a 5-star rating.
Call Hubie and Abraham. 800-800-5678. Or go to Hubie.com right now.
Be sure to listen to the Annex Wealth Management Investment Show Saturday mornings at 11 and Sunday afternoons at 1 on News Talk 1130 WISN. Annex provides its expertise to arm listeners with the knowledge and tools to invest wisely. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
You live with teeth in need of substantial restoration long enough. Even teeth in need of substantial restoration can be restored in one visit with Ross Dental Cyric Restoration Mill, New Berlin and Waukesha. Smile like you just don't care, because you don't. RossDentalWI.com.
When selling your home, you can save the buyer money by not having a redefined realty MLS listing enhanced by EasyHomeBidder.com auction. But do you want to save the buyer of your home money? When buyers bid, sellers win. It's real estate for winners. RedefinedRealty.com.
In almost every case, when Advent has solved a breathing triangle problem, it is a one and done. Because we don't want you to be a lifelong patient. We want you to be our next success story.
I'm defense attorney Tom Grieve. If you drive drunk, you will be pulled over and you will be arrested. You cannot talk your way out of a DUI, but you can keep your mouth shut for your best defense. Call my team of award-winning former state prosecutors. You are only guilty if you are convicted. GrieveLaw.com.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Wisconsin.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Coal Investment Group is a registered investment advisor. Call 262-522-4040. News about you and your money. The business report from the Coal Investment Group.
Good evening. This is certified financial planner Chauncey Weisensell with your evening business report. The major averages are mixed today as the S&P and NASDAQ fell amid concerns around the emergence of Chinese startup DeepSeek, which claims that its AI assistant uses cheaper chips and less data than the leading models, but performs equally as well. Meanwhile, in earnings news, shares of AT&T rose over 6% after the telecommunications giant reported fourth quarter results that exceeded analyst estimates on an adjusted earnings per share and revenue. At the close, the Dow was up 289 points to 44,713. The NASDAQ was down 612 points, and the S&P 500 was down 89 points. When was the last time you had a second opinion on your financial plan? Get that second opinion with us by scheduling your no-obligation review online at thecoalway.com.
want to shock you too badly on a Monday evening, but it turns out Democrats have been rather disingenuous about the whole deportations and illegal immigration issue. We'll get to that in just a second. If you'd like to join the show, the AdventNews.com talk and text line is open. 414-799-1130, 1-800-838-9476. Email me, DOD at iHeartMedia.com, at Dan O'Donnell Show on X, Facebook.com/Dan O'Donnell Show. You can watch the show streaming live there, X, or our YouTube channel. Just search for Dan O'Donnell or Dan O'Donnell Show. Would it shock you if in 2009 the world's biggest border hawk was Chuck Schumer? Probably not, right? Well, he sure sounded like it.
We must create a system that converts the current flow of primarily low-skilled illegal immigrants into the United States into a more manageable and controlled flow of legal immigrants who can be absorbed by our economy. Let me elaborate. The first of these 7 principles is that illegal immigration is wrong, plain and simple. Until the American people are convinced that we will stop future flows of illegal immigration, we will make no progress on dealing with the millions of illegal immigrants who are here now and on rationalizing our system of legal immigration.
Just how tough was the current Senate Minority Leader? He didn't even like the phrase undocumented immigrant. He said, we got to call an illegal alien an illegal alien.
When we use phrases like undocumented workers, we convey a message to the American people that their government is not serious about combating illegal immigration, which the American people overwhelmingly oppose. If you don't think it's illegal, you're not going to say it. I think it is illegal and wrong. People who enter the United States without our permission are illegal aliens, and illegal aliens should not be treated the same as people who entered the U.S. legally.
Now, it would be one thing if this was just old Chuck. How about Nancy Pelosi? I realize she's no longer the House Minority Leader, but come on. Can anybody even name who the current House Minority Leader is? It's Hakeem Jeffries, but whenever the media wants a quote from House Democrats, they're going straight to old Nancy. Here she was in 2008.
We need to address the issue of immigration and the challenge we have of undocumented people in our country. We certainly don't want any more coming in.
I've got some bad news from 2024 to 2025, Nancy Pelosi, 2008 Nancy Pelosi. We have let a whole lot more illegal immigrants in. Every Democrat was sounding just like that back as recently as 2008, like Hillary Clinton, who was one of the candidates for president. Here she is, March 28th, 2008.
I think we got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone.
I mean, isn't that exactly what's happening now? The crowd was cheering for that. How about the guy who beat Hillary, not just for the nomination, eventually got himself elected president, Barack Obama, not in his first term, in his second, 2014, November 20th, to be precise, saying, if you commit a crime as an illegal immigrant in this country, you will be deported, no questions asked.
If you're a criminal, you'll be deported. If you plan to enter the U.S. illegally, your chances of getting caught and sent back just went up. The actions I'm taking are not only lawful, they're the kinds of actions taken by every single Republican president and every single Democratic president for the past half century.
And that's the point, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not even getting into the soundbite I always bring up, which is the 1995 State of the Union address, in which Bill Clinton is far to the right of even Donald Trump on the issue of illegal immigration. As recently as 15 years ago, heck, as recently as 10 years ago, Democrats were sounding like sane, rational people. The biggest difference now in the era of woke is that they aren't. They don't believe we should be deporting criminal gangbangers, drug cartel members, child sex criminals, rapists, murderers, violent criminals who make us as a people and as a nation less safe. It would be one thing if everybody who is coming into this country was a model citizen who is just like Democrats' fantasy about the illegal immigrant who comes in and does the jobs Americans won't do. It is still hilarious to me just how often they admit that what they really want is near slave labor for people who come into this country and pick our crops, who milk our cows, as Governor Evers said a couple of weeks ago. How can we be the dairy state if we don't have illegals milking our cows? I wish I was making that up, but yes, they really do engage in that much casual racism. Sure, we're importing all sorts of people from Central and South America because they're low-skilled and we can pay them low wages to do low-skilled work. But even if they were just coming in here and milking our cows and planting our crops and whatever other menial task Democrats can assign them, that would be one thing. They're not. Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, the number is up into the millions of illegals who have committed crimes, many of them violent, many of them sexual. We have 10,000 plus people who have been not just accused of murder, not just charged with murder, convicted of murder. Do you remember that stat that arose during the campaign? And the left and their allies in the media tried their darndest to get that out of the public's consciousness. Oh, no, that's not true. That's not true. The number might be way higher. The truth is we have absolutely no idea who is here, and that's the big problem. This is a national security issue. It's about the security of every single person in this country. As a sovereign nation, we have an absolute right to defend our borders, to police our borders, and we absolutely retain the sovereign right to decide for ourselves who we want in this country living among us. It may make Selena Gomez cry, but it is the truth. Cold hard cash contest word this hour. Bank, B-A-N-K, bank. You have got until 55 past the hour to go to our website, enter the keyword bank to enter the contest for this hour. Your entry picked at random. You win $1,000 instantly. Earlier today, and I've got to give props to our great friends at WisconsinRightNow.com. I think it's just Jessica running that site. Jim Piavarchek had to divest himself from it as he got himself elected to the Wisconsin Assembly. We were very happy for our good friend Jim. Jessica over at Wisconsin Right Now found this absolutely, truly. This is, if you're watching, I hope you're watching on the Dano Cam. Everybody watching? You guys on the Dano Cam, gals? Mwah! Chef's kiss. This is a chef's kiss of a revelation about the left. Ryan Clancy is one of the more prominent members of the Democrat Socialists of America, Working Families Party, or one of them. No, it is the Democrat Socialists. He reposted a woman by the name of Rachel Ida on Facebook. I have no idea if that's actually her real name. It looks like she's using her middle name, but I don't know. She writes, some people have been asking about what they can do in solidarity with immigrants. There's a lot, and I'll try to post when I know. But here's something Milwaukee City residents can do quite easily. Register folks for a municipal ID card. These help undocumented folks who are not eligible for driver's licenses in Wisconsin do all the things that require local ID. having more people in the pool so that the list of those receiving these IDs is not just a list of undocumented people that can be used for ill is a positive good. As explained on the flyer here, you can just go down to City Hall during business hours with an ID and something with your address, pay $10 for the ID, and you've helped dilute the risk for other folks. Easy peasy, right? More to follow. And then there's a flyer showing exactly how to get a municipal ID card. So these are the same people saying it's impossible for minorities to get photo ID to use for voting, right? I mean, I have a distinct memory of Ryan Clancy himself saying it is so difficult to get a photo ID. We can't possibly require an ID for voting. Now, to which Republicans and, sane people say, well, I think everybody has an ID because you need an ID to do pretty much anything in modern society. And here he is sharing Rachel Ida's post that says, what you can do is register for a municipal ID card to help undocumented folks who are not eligible for driver's licenses in Wisconsin do all the things that require local ID. Now, of course, as only the Democratic Socialists and as only Ryan Clancy can, the real reason for this is they want everybody to go down and get a municipal ID card because they think it'll be more difficult for the authorities to figure out who's an illegal immigrant criminal. Criminal. This is the operative word. In case you're wondering why people on my side say people like Ryan Clancy are actually doing everything they can to help criminals avoid accountability. No, Dan, we're not doing that. We want justice. This is literally them attempting to get and the ICE deportations that are going on right now. Do you know what they are exclusively targeting? Criminals. Especially violent criminals, especially the most dangerous men and occasionally women in American society today who have no right to be here and who have either once they've gotten here or before they got here committed unspeakable acts of violence, of sexual cruelty, of the sort of thing that liberals profess to care about. If you ask Ryan Clancy whether Donald Trump is a rapist, what do you think he'll say? If you ask Ryan Clancy whether that rapist should be president of the United States, what do you think he'll say? Do you think that rapist should be in jail? Do you think that rapist should have the book thrown at him? Well, let's say the rapist is an illegal immigrant. Let's say instead of a shade of orange, he's a shade of maybe brown. Why is it that Ryan Clancy thinks that it's a grave injustice to give justice to the people who might be next victimized by said illegal? It's not as though we're inventing new laws here, folks. These laws have been on the books for a long time. It's just that you've got city leaders like Ryan Clancy who believe in the idea that we should have sanctuary cities that actively do hide people just like the ones who are being rounded up in Chicago. I saw a post from the Chicago Public Schools. They are instructing teachers to lock their doors if ICE comes. Elementary school teachers. How many third graders are raping? I'm guessing not that many. They get themselves worked up into high dudgeon about something that's not actually happening. And whether they want to be honest about what it is they're doing, and that is protecting the absolute dregs of society who have no business being in this society. And also, they just revealed that their entire belief system on voter ID is complete and utter bunk. So I guess thank you for that, huh? You're listening to The Dan O'Donnell Show. We'll be right back.
Rapid Traffic on News Talk 1130 WISN.
From the Lynch family of dealerships, Total Traffic Center.
Tow remains on the scene southbound 43 at the Marquette interchange, blocking the center lane with a stalled vehicle. 20 minutes from Brown Deer down to the Marquette, another 8 down to the Mitchell, with delays down to Holt. I'm Kevin Henry, and that's your latest Total Traffic.
This report is sponsored by PureTalk.com. It's time to ditch big wireless. Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month on America's most dependable 5G network. Switch today. Just dial pound 250 and say keyword switch now to save 50% off your first month with Pure Talk.
When the wildfires struck Los Angeles,
Severe fire weather conditions.
first responders from near and far came to the rescue.
All fire departments and all law enforcement will be prepared.
Now the music community has joined together to help at Fire Aid, a historic fundraising concert for the recovery of Los Angeles. Thursday night, starting at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. Live on the free iHeartRadio app's Hit Nation station.
And give what you can now at fireaidla.org.
Hi, I'm Willa Voss. I'm 8 years old. Mom and Dad own Cut and Go Tree Service. Yes, they did name me after a tree. Our family loves this country and the freedom it provides. Every morning, I look forward to starting the school day with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please say it along with me, even if you just say it in your mind. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. American patriots will enjoy a 5% discount for flying the American flag and mentioning this commercial when the Cut and Go remote control, automobile mounted, articulated crane, grapple saw operators are putting your dead trees on the ground or removing large branches that grew over something important. An all-American Tons of Trees movement. CutandGoTrees.com. That's CutandGoTrees.com.
Hey, Dan O'Donnell for Mander Collision and Glass, now with 7 locations to serve you across the greater Milwaukee area. Start your repair right now at mandercollision.com. Mander truly is the best decision after a collision.
Flawless Flooring installs luxury vinyl plank, hardwood, modern laminate, or carpeting. And Flawless Flooring has artisan craftsmen who refinish existing wood floors. Our employee-only team restores stained, worn, dented, gouged, even burned hardwood floors to better than brand new. Better than because today's finishes are far more wear-resistant. Flawless's craftsmen replace severely damaged flooring, keeping what can be restored and even expanding existing hardwood floors meticulously and seamlessly, blending old and new. Sensory Underload, FlawlessFlooringLLC.com.
In a recent study, over 1/3 of millionaires predicted their ability to feel financially secure in retirement is going to take a miracle. At Annex Wealth Management, we believe a plan, not a miracle, will help increase your retirement confidence. Our team of experts gets to work using leading-edge technology to build comprehensive plans covering investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. And Annex doesn't have products to push with hidden fees or commissions. There's too much of that already. Annex is a fee-only fiduciary. More planning, fewer miracles. Know the difference. AnnexWealth.com.
Divergent Family Law is experienced attorneys dotting every I, crossing every T, assuring you carry all of the assets and custodial rights you are legally entitled to down your new life path. Divergent Family Law, separate and equal or better. DivergentFamilyLaw.com.
Surprise! Your expenses this month were way higher than you expected. Also, you forgot to renew your website domain, and now you're in a bidding war.
You should see the look on your face.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Plus, the fridge died in the break room, and now everything smells weird. All right.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
All programs on News Talk 1130 WISN are broadcast through the Annex Wealth Management Studios. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
iHeartRadio is the easy-to-use app for music and radio.
Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
So I just looked up at the Fox News monitor we've got in our studio here. President Trump is still talking. I think we went to him like an hour ago. Some breaking news from the floor of the United States Senate. Scott Bessent has been confirmed as Treasury Secretary. This is a big one, as there wasn't really much opposition to him. In fact, I am looking. Yeah, the vote was 68-29, so there really wasn't a whole lot of opposition. Now, the question that I had. Yeah, Dave remembers my hardline stand on Bessent. He was George Soros's guy for a long time, too. Now, being someone's money guy doesn't necessarily mean that you share the same opinions as them. I mean, I think I talk to my money guy all the time on the radio in Dave Spano. I mean, he clearly shares a whole lot of the same opinions and beliefs that I do, but it's not necessarily true. I don't know what my tax preparer thinks about politics. So I guess I gather that President Trump and his entire vetting team on the transition believe that Bessent is an America First conservative. And yes, Spano and I, speaking of him, got into some disagreements about Scott Bessent. He thinks Bessent is a dyed-in-the-wool conservative. I said, look, I can't get past working for George Soros. If it was any other Dem, if it was Ryan Clancy, for goodness sakes, if you, what? Okay, that's the most random name you could have come up with. Dave, who's filling in for Paul, he's still in mid-season form. It's like we never left middays here. He goes, if it's just some random Democrat, I named Ryan Clancy because we were just talking about it. He just says out of the blue in my ear, Steven Spielberg. I'm like, what? What? But Steven Spielberg isn't known for being a Democrat. He's known for directing movies. Yes, I'm aware he's a Democrat, but that was just a random name. I'm thinking like you're going to say like a random Democrat, like, you know, who's a run-of-the-mill? Tim Kaine, Virginia senator. If he's Tim Kaine's money guy, okay. Steven Spielberg, what? It's like, yes, the guy who's most noted for Democrat just threw me for a loop there. But yes, your point is well taken. If he was just a standard issue Democrat, then yes. The issue I have with Soros is that Soros, through his Open Society Foundation, has put into place the system of overspending in local prosecutorial and judicial races that has got us the destabilization of America's cities, that has decriminalized crime to the point where we don't really have control anymore. Bessent, though, is his own man. Any questions about his Soros ties were asked and answered during his confirmation hearing, and he is confirmed. The third high-profile Trump cabinet secretary to be confirmed, following Pete Hegseth a couple of days ago, and Marco Rubio, who is confirmed unanimously. He just sailed through. I mean, nobody, you may disagree with Rubio, nobody can quit. Yeah, it was 99-0. That's what unanimously means, Dave. I don't know if you knew this. Yes, I believe it was Vance, because Vance, yeah. It was a 99-0 vote. What? Right. Who is the other abstention? Vance. Vance is no longer in the Senate. Oh, that's a great question. That is a good question. Could Rubio vote for himself? That would be... Rubio will be replaced. I don't believe he left the Senate, so he voted for himself. Yeah, honestly, Dave, that is shockingly a great question. Can you vote for yourself in a confirmation hearing? My guess would be yes, but I don't honestly know. So Bissett gets confirmed. Let's go to President Trump. I am genuinely curious. He has been talking for more than an hour now. Here's the president at the Congressional Institute.
That's a lot of credit for, because, they have lousy policy. I think, frankly, half of them are totally crazy, but they do stick together. They stick together on stuff that nobody can. I mean, how can you want prisons emptied out into our country? They stick together. They stick together on everything. Impeachment hoax number one, impeachment hoax number two. They stick together. Although I must tell you, you gave me great support during those two problems. Those two fake witch hunts, which have now turned out to be totally fake and disgusting. But you gave me tremendous support. But the Republican Party has to stick together. We just can't have people going, 1, 2, 3 votes. And we don't have that luxury. It would be different if we had a 20-point, 30-person majority, but we don't. We have to help leadership. And, you can be assured that you have certain philosophies, that if you're going to have most of the people, almost all of them, voting for something, you're going to be okay. It's not going to be bad. You have to stick together. It's the one thing that I would say we don't get very high marks. Everything is so hard.
Yeah.
You always have 2 or 3 or 5 or something, people that just don't want to do it. And you just got to do it. You just got to do it. Make life easy. Just got to do it. So right now we have a very special period because we have the House, we have the Senate, and we have the White House, and we're a team, and we're a really good team. And I appreciate so many times, and like even with Mike, I called 3 or 4 people, and they said, okay, sir, I'll do it. I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote positively, and they're very happy they did now. But when I called, we've gotten such a great response. We just had that happen with Pete Hegseth, and we have it happening with others. But we really appreciate it with the House. The House has been, it's a very difficult situation when you have that small a majority. But in a certain way, it brings you together. It actually can unify more than anybody would ever know. And a victory is sweeter, as they say, because of it. And I think we're going to have a lot of victories, but we have to stick together. We have to work together. We have to fight together. And we're going to win together. We're going to win like never before. We have a chance to win like never before. As long as we stay united, the 119th Congress will be remembered as the most successful and accomplished Republican majority in American history. I believe that. I think we have a chance of doing that.
That is President Trump talking to the House GOP caucus and saying something rather profound, that small majority that Republicans have in the House might actually bring them together because they know everyone needs to be voting together. Everybody needs to be swimming in the same direction in order to get anything accomplished. Republicans have 2 years. A lot of people think they're going to lose that slim majority in the House. They may lose the majority in the Senate. It's just sort of the way the cyclical nature of politics works, that Republicans won pretty much everything in 2024. 2 years later, generally speaking, that party suffers big losses. That's not to say that, I think the party thoroughly rejected Democrats, but Trump isn't on the ballot in 2 years. Trump isn't on the ballot ever again. So Republicans have to figure out how to harness the power of Trumpism, of his personal charisma, in order to build on what he has helped them achieve already electorally. And the only way that you can build on that is by passing an agenda that the American people support. The American people spoke with a loud voice in November and said, we want exactly what is happening now. This is why. Could you imagine, and I know we've been focused a lot on the Selena Gomez sobbing, but what's so amazing about that is she was the only one. Think about it. How many other celebrities have you seen posting weepy videos? How many Democrats? Do you remember AOC leading the group of Dems down to one of those detention facilities at the southern border, and she videotaped herself sobbing, wearing all white, and she's just out in a parking lot by a chain link fence. It's obviously performative. That was replayed all across the country. Selena Gomez was so embarrassed of her histrionics that within a couple of hours today, she deleted the post. There's something deeper about that than just some potentially mentally imbalanced. Can we check, does Selena Gomez, did she admit that she had bipolar disorder? I thought that was Demi Lovato. People are telling me that she, regardless, it doesn't really matter. But she felt alone. If there were way more celebs, oh, she does? Okay, she came out. They both did. Yeah, well, I knew Demi Lovato had a bunch of substance abuse issues. Okay, Demi Lovato came out, or excuse me, Selena Gomez, Dave says, came out in 2020 and says, okay, I have bipolar disorder. Now, in 2020, she's on there crying and screaming and carrying on and blubbering like that. Every other celebrity comes at, oh, how brave Selena is to speak truth to power and let her emotions say. In 2025, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing even for the person who posted it. That's how much things have changed, ladies and gentlemen. It's in large part because Republicans have stuck together. And it's because Republicans do have an agenda. They ran on something. They ran on exactly what is going on right now. Ignore the sobbing, ignore the histrionics. The American people are with Trump, with Republicans, with us. They're demanding a return to normalcy.
Conservative thought, not just talk. The Dan O'Donnell Show will be right back. Rapid traffic on News Talk 1130 WISN.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
Southbound on 43, heavy from Center to the Marquette, where you got a stalled vehicle in the center lane. 25 minutes from Brown Deer. Westbound on 94, it's 18 out to Moreland, jammed to Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Kevin Henry, and that's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. At Blindster, we offer custom-made faux wood and real wood blinds and shutters, cellular shades, Roman shades, bamboo shades, exterior shades, and more, all at factory direct prices. Don't pay too much for new blinds. Go to Blindster.com.
When winter's frosty grip squeezes out all the joy of the season, that's when to heat things up by playing the nationwide Cold Hard Cash Contest on News Talk 1130 WISN.
Win some cash.
9 times each weekday. Listen for the keyword to enter at newstalk1130.com, and you could win the hourly prize of $1,000.
The Cold Hard Cash Contest is presented by Tap In Golf Bar, offering Metro Milwaukee's premier indoor golf simulator experience, locations in Waukesha and Sussex. TapInGolfBar.com.
I'm Dan Voss from Cut and Go. Ugly and depressing and trees killed off by emerald ash, oak wilt, and Dutch elm disease are dangerous for friends and loved ones, even a potential liability. Slowly rotting, left-standing hardwood trees can weigh tens of thousands of pounds. Even seemingly smaller branches can weigh tens, even hundreds of pounds. With Cut and Go, there is no reason to risk injury or property damage. Live trees in precarious placement for an arborist to remove over homes, garages, commercial buildings, luxury landscapes are easily and safely laid on the ground by Cut and Go's NCCER crane-operated certified remote control automobile mounted articulating crane grapple saw operators. You can save big money and stock up on firewood by having Cut and Go put your trees on the ground for you to clean up or have a bonfire or split firewood. Or we can take it all with us when we leave. A Tons of Trees movement. Cut and Go trees.com. That's CUTNGO trees.com.
Once again, that's cutandgotrees.com.
I'm board-certified plastic surgeon Michelle Boness. At my Brookfield MediSpa, getting rid of stubborn, resistant to diet and exercise fat deposits doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg, and doesn't have to come with the risk of potentially health-altering injectable pharmaceuticals. As a board-certified plastic surgeon, I perform cosmetic procedures, including liposuction 360. During liposuction, I don't count the number of passes I make on fatty deposits. I continue until achieving positive body transformational results. While most cool sculpting vendors charge per cycle, Boness Body and Face MediSpa charge one value price regardless of cycles required for aesthetically pleasing fat reduction. Next, CoolTone's electromagnetic energy is precisely applied to small, weak, hard to isolate with exercise muscles, causing rapid muscle contractions, strengthening, and toning. Unlike injectable fat reduction drugs, side effects of CoolTone are stronger sculpted buttocks, ab, and thigh muscles. Good for long-term health and looks. Your body, your life, love it. drboness.com.
If you're living with joint pain in your shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, and you have Medicare or Medicaid insurance, coming to Rejuvenex to solve your pain problems is something you should strongly consider. First off, because our FDA-approved pain treatments have been shown in many cases to be highly effective at reducing inflammation and substantially alleviating pain. Secondly, Medicare and Medicaid cover Rejuvenex treatments, so your cost could be nothing, or next to nothing at all. Chronic pain will only worsen with age. This leads to a far more compromised lifestyle, depression, and soon they start talking surgery. And then what? You have to get in front of arthritis and chronic pain, because the sooner you do, by letting us begin to calm those pain points, the better. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and we can alleviate your pain so you can rejuvenate your life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Learn the secrets to create your own ultimate backyard retreat with Brett Ochtenhagen of Brett Ochtenhagen Seasonal Services. Tune in every Saturday at 1 p.m. on News Talk 1130 WISN. Learn more at seasonalservices.com.
Next Tuesday, you'll go to your business. You'll stand there in your office and make decisions. I think when you make decisions, it might be well for you to ask yourself, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Is it easier for your business to buy things you need to increase profitability than it was 4 years ago? Does your business have more or less unemployment? Is your business as respected as it was? Do you feel your business is on as secure financial grounds as it was 4 years ago? And if you answer all those questions, yes, why then, I think your choice is very obvious as to who handles your brand and marketing. If you don't think the marketing course is what you would like to see your business follow for the next 4, then I could suggest another choice that you have.
And it is improving the economy one business at a time. CreativeGeniusMarketing.com. I'mADishWeb.com.
Hey, it's Alec Baldwin. This season on my podcast, Here's the Thing, I speak with musician, photographer, and philanthropist Julian Lennon.
Photography really does allow me to do that. I have empathy for people on the other side of the world that you'll never ever meet, but you'll at least have some understanding of what their life is and what they went through or are still going through.
Listen to Here's the Thing on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Here's the Thing and start listening.
That's right. If you don't listen to the Alec Baldwin podcast, well, you saw what happened on that movie set. iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts. I'm just saying. Just saying. It's a short flight from L.A. And Alec Baldwin clearly knows how to recklessly handle a firearm. I still can't believe he skated on that, by the way. It is Alec Baldwin, but criminal negligence, I mean, my goodness. You have an armorer who doesn't realize that there's a live round in the machine, in the gun, in the chamber. Just unconscionable. And he's responsible for the set. I'm not saying, okay, as the actor, as the actor, he has a reasonable belief that when he pulls the trigger, as he's done probably hundreds, if not thousands of times, it is going to be a prop gun. Well, but that's why, Dave. That's, if you would let me get to the second part of the sentence that was coming. Dave goes, but he was also a producer. Yes, Dave, that's where I was going. Has it been that long? You haven't been producing my show. We are still on the same page. Yes, in his capacity as a producer, that is criminal negligence that he would allow a live round to be anywhere near that set. The armorer certainly is and was criminally negligent in allowing that live round to get into that gun. In terms of Baldwin, the actor, he wasn't criminally liable. And I know there are people who say, well, you always check the round. So what? During the scene, he's going to, I think it was like some shootout scene. It was a Western that he was filming. During the shootout scene, he's going to examine the chamber. No, it doesn't work like that on a movie set. You rely on the armorer to make sure that the gun is going to fire a blank or fire a prop sound effect bullet. There was a live bullet in that thing. Alec Baldwin, the producer, certainly bears at least some responsibility for that. So am I required as a Green Bay Packers fan / owner to get all huffy about the fact that the Eagles wouldn't be the first team to win 3 straight championships, that the Packers, in fact, did it twice? Are we really going to be that insufferable, Packers fans? Right. We won the championship 3 straight times in the 1930s and then again in the 1960s. The second of those 3 championships and the third were, in fact, the first 2 Super Bowls. The Packers were dominating the NFL before the Super Bowl era. This means that while they did three-peat twice, if Kansas City wins in 2 weeks, they would be the first team to win 3 Super Bowls. The NFL loves to go back to the Super Bowl era. Those of a certain vintage will remember that there used to be 2 leagues, the NFL and the AFL, and then they merged to form the NFC and AFC. So the NFL, while it doesn't consider the merger as its founding, you'll hear, unlike, say, when the NBA is discussed or Major League Baseball, when the NFL talks about its history, oftentimes you'll hear in the Super Bowl era or post-merger. And this is because the game just changed so much. Heck, the game changed a ton from 2025, from 1997 to 2025. Brett Favre and Dan Marino were setting all kinds of passing yardage records year after year after year in the 80s and 90s. Those numbers today are pedestrian because quarterbacks are passing 40 times a game relatively often. Philadelphia Eagles are something. I'm like the Philadelphia mayor, ELGSES Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles are something of a throwback because they run the ball so much. They happen to have the best running back in football and one of the best running quarterbacks ever in Jalen Hurts. But look at the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, he's had a couple of down years because he doesn't really have any down years by his standards, doesn't have any real wide receivers, although Xavier Worthy, mark my words, he's going to be a star. The name of the game is a pedestrian quarterback. An average quarterback passes for 4,000 yards nowadays. Didn't happen before. Now, does that negate the fact that the Green Bay Packers were the first team to win 3 straight championships? No. But I'm just telling you why over the next 2 weeks in Super Bowl hype and coverage, they are going to keep saying that the Kansas City Chiefs are the first team. They're trying to become the first team to win 3 straight Super Bowls, or the first team to three-peat. I'm telling you the reason why. Can we all? Joe Buck and Troy Aikman are not calling the Super Bowl, so we don't have to complain about them being biased against the Packers. But there's just, I am already seeing, there is already a pet peeve brewing, and that's the people who won't shut up about the fact that the Packers had 2 three-peats. They didn't win 3 straight Super Bowls. What the NFL is saying is accurate. They're not trying to erase the Packers from history. The Packers are by far the most successful franchise in the league's history. They're just talking about the Super Bowl era. We got that? Good. Good. Because you know that's going to make some nightly newscast of Packers who are upset, Packers fans who are upset about this at some point.
Rapid Traffic on News Talk 1130 WISN.
From the Lynch Family of Dealerships Total Traffic Center.
Southbound 43 solid from Keefe to the Marquette because of an earlier stall that's now been towed out of the way. A half hour from Brown Deer. 4145 southbound takes you 10 from Good Hope to the Zoo. Slow Silver Spring to Burleigh. I'm Kevin Henry. That's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. At Blindster, we offer custom-made faux wood and real wood blinds and shutters, cellular shades, Roman shades, bamboo shades, exterior shades, and more, all at factory direct prices. Don't pay too much for new blinds. Go to Blindster.com.
Hi, Matt Geyer here. Local and regional manufacturers, rather than brokering shipments in and out of your manufactory, MKG Transport is the moving partner 100% committed to your bottom line. MKG Transport moves materials, parts, pieces, assemblies for the processes performed by associate businesses. Transported same day, next day, and when needed to keep your production and process moving. Brought back same day, next day. Collaborating with other producers for processes outside your wheelhouse is simple with MKG Transport. Molded plastics or metal to be cut or coated, then moved right back for the next production step. Or simply parts exactly where you need them on time. MKG is a fluid operator. Your individual manufacturing moving needs will become our operational protocol for your business. With MKG, there are no surprises. Your product in process will be where you need it, when you need it. The price quoted is the price you pay. Our drive, manufacturing movement, mkgtransport.com.
What we've found is that when you have workers who feel valued, you get better results. This is why good people and good culture should matter to anyone looking for an exterior remodeling company they can trust. It's going to be your experience and the end result that gives you peace of mind, because you'll know your work was done by people who care. We realized early on that if we were going to change the reputation of this industry for the better, that finding good workers that you could trust to do great work was going to be the key. We're attracting good people every day because we take care of our people. We want to make sure they feel important because they are. And we're going to make sure you feel important and valued too, with excellent customer service and high quality work. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Dan O'Donnell here for Mander Collision and Glass, now with 7 locations to serve you. It's deer season in Wisconsin, but I'm not talking about hunting. I'm talking, unfortunately, about car crashes. If you're unlucky and get into a collision with a deer, you could be entered into Mander's Hit a Deer, Win a Deer contest. That's deer as in John Deere, as in a brand new John Deere tractor mower. My friends at Mander want to add some positivity to what can be a stressful, traumatic event. So now through February 28th, anyone who hits a deer and has their vehicle repaired at any Mander Collision location will be entered into a drawing for a new Deere tractor. Hit a Deer, Win a Deer, now through February 28th at all Mander locations. Start your repair today at mandercollision.com and find out why Mander truly is your best decision after a collision.
I'm Ryan Harrison, owner of Ryan Waterproofing. If it seems rain hangs around your home coming down as insidiously delicate droplets, or in buckets, and if neither, rain tends to lurk suspiciously in the atmosphere around your house, you probably have a wet, mildewy, leaky basement with cracked walls. No basement wall or foundation repair is too big or small for Ryan Waterproofing. We won't be the most expensive. The larger the job, the more you'll save with Ryan. We've eliminated bowed walls, cracks, spalling, seepage, and flooding in Coast Guard stations, museums, and countless Wisconsin homes. Ryan's waterproofing experts show up on time and do exactly what we say we're going to do, eliminating your water problems, restoring your home, even ending your negative obsession with rain. Imagine looking out the window for rainbows rather than obsessing about your basement walls and floors next time, every time it rains. Free estimates, affordable financing. Because praying for drought is overrated. Ryan Waterproofing, call Ryan.com. That's call RION.com.
There's only one store that gives you every possible choice in diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
This is Wisconsin's most listened to radio station. News Talk 1130 WISN.
WISN.
Big taxers, big spenders, political cronies, global warming alarmists, charlatans, liars, scam artists, and feeders at the public trough. The threats to your happiness are many, but that's where we can help. News Talk 1130 WISN. Our truth shall keep you free.
Is it just me or did this show fly by today? Dave says you're welcome. Do you realize I had someone text and they go something to the effect of, spit it out, Dan. Those pauses are getting a little bit too long. I replied, tell Dave to shut up in my ear then, because I'm trying to listen to him. Paul does not talk to me as much. I think I scare him a little bit. I don't know how, after 35 years of getting berated by Mark Belling. No, it's Dave, you and I have been working together for so long that it's just natural. You know what I'm saying? It's just a natural thing. Paul is still kind of feeling it out. And yeah, he said, well, yeah, exactly. And, no, it did go a little fast. We had a ton of breaking news coming up tomorrow. I am aiming for a pair of exclusive stories. I don't want to give too much away. One has to do with an upcoming local race, and ironically, given the moral panic that the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel has been fanning the flames of about free speech, this will be a good one to report. And also, we're going to go all the way back to the Walker era. Some new information about something that happened 10 years ago that, honest to goodness, stunned me, and I think it will stun you too. Both of those stories I am planning to get on the air tomorrow afternoon, starting at 3 o'clock, pending, of course, big breaking news. We have got confirmation hearings, some of the big ones, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr. scheduled for this week. We will be covering all of it. And did you know the Chiefs wouldn't be the first team to win 3 straight championships? I'm kidding. Have a wonderful evening, Wisconsin. We'll talk to you tomorrow afternoon.